Today, I'm going to be talking with you about how you can use YouTube to make money from your YouTube channel. And everything that I'm going to be talking about applies to you if you have an established channel or if you are just getting started on YouTube, because during this stream, we talk about all the different ways that content creators can make money. And then we're also going to be pulling up channels that, from participants that are here during the stream. And we're going to be looking at what it is that they are doing. And then we're going to be brainstorming with them on different things that they can also do in order to make money from the content that they are putting out. Now, historically, during these streams, we've pulled up all kinds of different channels. So I'm expecting the same exact thing to happen today. Channels across all kinds of different niches. And we just sit there and we brainstorm and try to think of the different ways that they can make money from the content that they are already making. So that is what we are going to be doing today, is basically pulling up your YouTube channels and seeing how you can apply the different methods of monetizations that content creators typically use to what it is that you are doing. Now, typically, as we get into this, I do want to let you know that when it comes to monetizing your content, let's talk about that first. The main core ways that content creators typically monetize what it is that they're doing on YouTube is through affiliate. We'll just say YouTube ads, okay? That's kind of a default once you're in the YouTube partner program. But then the other ways that content creators monetize is through affiliate marketing. They offer premium content through sites like Uscreen, who's the sponsor of the show today. I'm going to share a little bit about them here in a second. Through digital products like courses and downloads and LUT packs and like audio samples, all kinds of different things you can do for digital downloads. Physical products in terms of people having items made to where people order them off of Amazon or directly from their stores, and then they send them out from there. Providing services based on the skill sets that you have or based on the type of content that you make. Merchandise in terms of, hoodies, shirts, coffee cups, merch. When it comes to YouTube, I'm sure you've heard of that if you're a content creator. Crowdfunding, sponsorships, and content licensing. Those are the core ways that the 9 core ways that people typically make money with their YouTube channels. So those are the things that we're going to be looking at the channels and saying, hey, how can you apply this to what it is that you are doing? Now, as a part of this, another thing that I do is when I'm pulling up the channel, if I notice that there's something else going on that's just like glaring, then, of course I'll mention that. But even structurally, like where do you put this stuff in your video description? Are there other places on your channel where you can share the information about the different ways that you're monetizing? We talk about all of that during the stream today. So if you are just joining us today, we are talking about different ways that you can make money from your YouTube content. Hey, what's up, Christina? What's up, Paul Peck? Nice to see you in here. Martin, Calming Anxiety. Hope you're doing great. So as we get into this, I do want to I just hit the wrong button. There we go. I do want to let everybody know that today's stream is brought to you by Uscreen. Uscreen is a video on demand service for your content. Basically, how this works is through your Uscreen account, you can think of it kind of like your own Netflix, and you upload exclusive content here that your viewers pay to access. So they can get free content on your YouTube channel, and then you can you can create extra things that you can upload to your Uscreen channel to where your most engaged fans can go there to get that content. Now, when it comes to Uscreen, people make all types of different Uscreen type channels based on what it is that they're doing with theirs. But I just want to give you an example, and I haven't done this on the previous streams. I just want to show you what one of these looks like. This one's Fader Pro, and on this particular one, they are an audio training. Like if you're into music at all, they train people on all the different softwares and things like that. But in terms of like how you can make it look and some of the things that you can offer, you can see how just nice and clean this looks and how you can just, keep scrolling down here. You got testimonials, and you can just customize the look and feel of this. But the thing that I really want to bring to your attention is some of the testimonials that they have here. So for example, we have this one from Francis Long of Your Book of Memories. They say, I made $13,000 in my first 4 months. I've never made more than $380 a month in YouTube ad revenue. Uscreen changed my business and my life forever. It's a pretty heavy testimonial. And how many people here, by show of hands, have not made more than $380 a month on your YouTube channel, right? In addition to that, we have Sarah Beth Yoga down here saying that Uscreen had the things that I wanted and needed as a creator. 10x'd my business when I launched my membership, when I launched my membership site, it changed the game. So when it comes to Uscreen and what it is that you can do with it, It's pretty cool. I'm actually in the process of making something, for the people that watch my videos as well, for some of you. And when it comes to that, it's a great way that, you can make more money from what it is that you're doing. But you can try them out. They have a free trial where you can, see what it is at uscreen.tv. Or, of course, you can go through the link down in the description below, which, gives credit, which means hopefully they'll keep sponsoring this, which means, hopefully we'll be able to keep doing it. So make sure that you check that out. So what we're going to do, if this is your first time participating in this stream, in the monetization streams, how this works is it's 100% free, thanks to our sponsor, Uscreen. And all we have to do here is I put a hashtag into StreamYard's giveaway tool. And then what it's going to do is it's just going to spin through that hashtag. And all you have to do, if you want to get your channel pulled up, is you put the hashtag in the chat when I say what it is. And then once you have that in there, then it's just going to randomly pick somebody from the chat. We open up their channel, look at it, give them some tips, and then we move on from there. So that's kind of how it goes and how you get your channel looked at during this process. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and put in a hashtag here. And since we are going ahead and, getting it started with, Uscreen here today, I'm going to just go ahead and put it up on the screen. So the hashtag, the first one we're going to do here is Uscreen. So if you want your channel pulled up, make sure you put Uscreen in the chat right now. And you only have to put your hashtag in there one time because it just counts at one time, right? So just put it in there once, and then I just wait for, a few of these to queue up, a nice handful. And then once these are queued up a little bit, then I'm going to hit the little draw button, and then it's going to randomly pick somebody, that put in Uscreen. And just as a heads up, if you don't get picked, keep in mind, as soon as we get done looking at the channel that's going to end up coming up here, then we're going to go and we're going to look at another one. We're going to do another hashtag and then another hashtag and another hashtag. So if you don't get pulled up, hang tight because you might get the next one. So right now we're at 60 entries, just waiting for just a few more to come in here just to make sure everybody has a chance in case they're, back in the laundry room doing laundry, listening to this in the background, and they're running to the computer like, oh, I gotta get this hashtag in there, trying to just give people some time there. Okay, so 64, here we go. I'm just gonna go ahead and draw it, and then we'll go ahead and pull up a channel here. And by the way, I hope everybody's doing fantastic. Glad that you decided to hop in here and participate in the live stream today. Okay, so Traveling Man Las Vegas is the first channel that we are going to be looking at here. So I'm going to pull up Traveling Man Las Vegas. And really quick, let me just do a quick not best practice check, but just a little safety check here, just because, I'm pulling these up on my channel. So this is just my quick safety check just to make sure everything is good. There's no crazy imagery or anything like that that can get either of us in trouble. And it looks like we are good to go. Okay, so we're gonna pull this up on the screen right now, and let's go ahead and just put it into this window right here. So like I mentioned before, for those of you that are just joining us, what we're gonna do is we're gonna be looking at this channel and thinking of different ways that he can monetize. Now, some of the ways that he's gonna be able to monetize, you may or may not be able to monetize as well. And some of the ways that you might be able to monetize, he may or may not be able to monetize in those ways. But this is a brainstorming session in terms of hey, what could they do here? So right out of the gate, Traveling Man Las Vegas, everything Las Vegas with some videos of other casinos and hotels elsewhere. So right out of the gate, just by seeing what it is that you offer here on the YouTube channel, if you're not already making guides and things like that that people can download before they come to Vegas, then you are missing an opportunity to make money. So in terms of a use case for this, I have a friend of mine. He makes content all over the world actually, and one of the things that he does is he actually makes these guides. And it's like, hey, if you're coming here, do this, and he puts together entire itineraries for people, and people buy them like crazy off of his YouTube channel. He doesn't even promote it. He only puts it available in his video description, and he makes a lot of money. I think he said like $8,000 a month from people just downloading these from his video descriptions. So when it comes to your type of content in terms of sharing all the stuff about an area, that's definitely something to consider. And of course, you would let people know about that in every video. So what I'm talking about here for you Traveling Man Las Vegas is just think about, okay, if I were to put together a plan for somebody that was coming to Las Vegas, what would that plan look like? What would I have them do next? Would I create different plans for different types of people that are coming here for different things? For example, if you're going to Las Vegas for a bachelor party, you're probably going to be having a different experience than if you're going to Las Vegas as a family. If you're going to Las Vegas, as a family, you're probably going to have a different experience than somebody that's going to Las Vegas as a couple, right? So because of that, you just want to think about, okay, is there anything that I could, put together, make it look nice, have it either design it yourself or have it designed well. And then you package it up as a digital product. You can use Send Owl or something like that to make it available. And then how that works is you connect your PayPal account to it. Maybe you get a Stripe account. And then when people make a purchase, then you just have to make it once and then you make it available. Maybe you update it from time to time. And then when people make a purchase, that money just hits your bank account. And then that essentially gives you a way to make passive income from something that you're going to make one time on your YouTube channel if you decided to do that. So next up, in terms of, different things that you might be able to do here, and I'm going to look at one of your video descriptions right here in just a second, but another thing that you might be able to do here as well, if it's something that you're interested in, hey, Mark Lewis, what's going on, man, is if you are interested in it, one of the ways that people do make a living or just make more money from their YouTube channels is by offering services. Now, when it comes to services, keep in mind that that is an exchange, time for money directly. So because of that, it's not passive like the original thing that I told you about with the guides, but you could be a guide for people. If you're like a people person and all of that, then you could offer services as a guide in terms of like, hey, you're coming to Vegas, I'm going to show you all the great places, drive you around town, those types of things. You could make that available as well because people do like VIP tours of areas also. I also live in a tourist area and people offer those types of things, where I'm at as well. So when it comes to you, right out of the gate, we've got two items. The next thing you could do here, and I'm just going to pull up one of your videos so I can see what you're doing in your description. First, just a heads up, fill out your descriptions more because even though the system's smart enough to like know what's going on from your videos just from like the captions, I'm not sure how much you're talking, specifically what you're talking about, anything like that. I would definitely make sure that you're filling out your descriptions more just to give the system more context, right? And the whole idea with this is you just want to talk about, Las Vegas, talk about the specific things that you might be showing, around, in this particular video, things like that, so that YouTube system has, just a little bit more context to what's going on. It's just a little bit more clear. In addition to that, you're missing opportunities in your video descriptions here to do a few different things. The very first thing is to send people enough more videos, right? Like in your particular case, you want people like watching video after video. Hey, I'm going to Vegas. What do you got? What do we got here? What's he going to show me? Like you want people watching. Oh, okay. So here's a video on this. Now let's go drive them into a playlist of other videos that would make sense for them to watch when they're watching this video over here. And that'll help you multiply your views. That'll help you multiply your ad revenue and all of that. If you can, start putting that together to where people will, kind of go through that flow of going into a playlist that you recommend to them, and then they go and watch more of your content. So 2 places you can do that right here on this page. The very first, obviously, is your pinned comment right here. So with your pinned comment, that means that you would just write a comment out on your channel and say, hey, if you're coming to Vegas, make sure you watch this playlist. Or I put together a series of videos just for you. Click here to check it out, and then put a link to the playlist. And then by doing that, people that are, going to be coming there or whatever, those people, some of them will click into that playlist and they'll watch video after video after video. Same exact thing goes right here as well in terms of putting recommended content down here. In fact, Tube Spanner, hey, thank you for the super chat, Danielle, I appreciate it. So Tube Spanner, who just dropped the 50 spot there on the super chat, one of the things that they have is an upload assistant where you can actually add, during your upload process, you can actually insert like recommended videos and things like that from a drop down instead of having like go to your channel and figure out what's relevant and things like that. It's pretty awesome. So you might want to check that out too. But the idea here is just giving people an opportunity to watch more of your videos. But since we're talking about money, right, this is one of those glaring things that I was talking about. Also, you're also having some issues with music here. I would actually use either Epidemic Sound or use Creator Mix, which is our service, or something like that for your music so you don't run into these types of problems. But when it comes to money, down in your description, this is where if you decided to make those guides, you would put a link to the guides down here. Also, if you have anything that you recommend, just based on the type of content that you're making here, like for example, since you are showing people like, hey, these are different things that we're doing here in Vegas. Making a video or you could make it a series and just do it from time to time as part of, your content cadence, making a video on like, X things you need if you're coming to Las Vegas, right? And basically just talk about things that might, help people enjoy their trip better. Maybe it's a specific lightweight backpack or just anything that you think would be a good fit for somebody traveling there based on the nuances that you understand of that area. And then with that particular video, you could also sign up for the Amazon affiliate program program or the Walmart affiliate program, and you could put affiliate links to each one of those individual products that you recommend. And then you could also, how I was talking about linking the other content down in your video descriptions, the same exact thing, to where in all of your videos, coming in the video description, coming to Vegas, watch this video first, right? And that particular video drives them, into that video that's an affiliate video. So one thing that I do want to mention, because it just popped in my brain, that's good practice when it comes to this, is like when you are trying to maximize the amount of either views that you're getting on specific content, or you're trying to maximize the revenue that you're generating from your YouTube channel, when you are publishing videos, how I keep talking about, putting links in your description, right? One thing that you can do is you can kind of map everything out, right? So say it's like, hey, over the next 90 days, we're going to be making these videos on the channel, and these videos are going to be the money videos. Those money videos are the ones that are, that are made for the purpose of driving revenue. So therefore, I need to make sure that I'm intentionally linking to that money video from a nice handful of these other videos, and that I'm kind of looking at the videos at kind of like a wide view and thinking how somebody would hop from video to video to video, right? So you just want to make sure that you are, thinking of that as well, because then that ends up causing you to drive people into content that is more easily monetized, on your end as well. But, you got to attach it to value and all that. Of course, that goes without saying. But those are two things. The next thing is physical products. So when it comes to physical products, I'm sure there's something you could do here. I'm not sure off the top of my head what you would be able to sell off of your YouTube channel as a physical product, but since there's a lot of upfront expense with that, we're just going to move on to the next one, which was providing services, but we've already talked about that. So merch. Technically, I'm not sure copyright wise, because I know like Las Vegas has like their main, like, hey, you're coming into town, here's like that Las Vegas sign. I'm not sure if that, I'm going to guess there's some type of copyright stuff going on there, but that's something to look into, because if not, then technically you could use Spreadshop to make your own like Las Vegas merch. And then people can, just buy, merchandise about Las Vegas from your YouTube channel as well. But one big one for you is, you're getting like okay views on your videos. You got, 5,000, almost 6,000 views on this one, 1,000 views almost on this one, which it will reach, 4,000 on this one. They're kind of hit and miss, it seems. But one thing that you might want to consider, because you are targeting a local area, is if you're not already doing sponsorships, like you are getting in front of the right people for sponsorships for anything that's going on in that area. So because of that, I would definitely be trying to figure out sponsorships on your end as well. And since you are in a very high traffic tourist destination, you might also want to look into content licensing, because with content licensing, people need footage for all kinds of different reasons. Sometimes it's an ad, sometimes it's a background video or just regular B-roll. Sometimes it's for a commercial, things like that. People always need videos about Las Vegas. So if what you're recording all of this stuff on is like a high quality camera, then in that case, considering content licensing is another thing to definitely put on your list of, stuff to do. So hopefully that helped in some way. I'm going to go ahead and pull up another channel now. And, if you have any questions about that at any time, any of the channels that I do pull up and look at, just as a heads up, if you do have any questions about the nuance of the things that I, mentioned, because we do go through this kind of fast and I understand that, just shoot me a DM on Twitter. And when I get that DM, once I get to it, then I'll answer, any questions you have for the channels that, that I pull up here. So next up on the list, let's grab another hashtag here. And really quick, if you are enjoying this so far, make sure you hit that like button. So Tube Spanner says in the super chat here, says, I did a video about apocalypse conspiracy theories last week. It didn't do very well, but it's not the end of the world. I mean, it could be. I mean, who knows? Who knows? We're like one sun flare away, I think, from all that. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so next up on our list is Uscreen. Here, I'll just go ahead and just show it to you here. There we go. Uscreen 88 is our hashtag, so just go ahead and drop that hashtag. And in the meantime, while you are doing that, I do want to remind you that this stream is brought to you by Uscreen. So for those of you that are just joining us, Uscreen is like your own video on demand service for your viewers. So what content creators do with Uscreen, very popular creators like, Sarah Beth Yoga, for example, Your Book of Memories, Jason David over at My Tribe Watch, like, these content creators, and, you can do the same. I'm actually, working on some stuff that we're going to be publishing here as well. But basically you can upload exclusive content there. It can be training, it can be entertainment, just more of the videos that you make. But your viewers can purchase those videos here or purchase a monthly membership here in exchange for, exclusive content that you don't publish on your YouTube channel. So if you have a highly engaged fan base, or if you teach people things or anything like that, definitely check out Uscreen. You can find a link to them down in the description below, or you can go to uscreen.tv. Should have made the screen bigger when I did that one, but I'll do it next time. Okay, so we're at 64 right now, just waiting for a few more of these to come in. Hey, what's up, Doug? Hope you're doing awesome, man. Butcher Wizard, welcome to the stream. Robin's Love of Sewing, welcome to the stream. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and draw this, see what we get here. Drum roll. See whose channel we're looking at. Let's go. Okay. Travel Around Susie. We got another travel channel here. Let's go. Let's do this. Okay. So Travel Around Susie. Let's see if we can find Travel Around Susie on YouTube really quick. And just as a heads up, Travel Around Susie, if you can just say something in the chat, that will make it a little bit easier for me as well. Travel Around Susie. I'm going to guess what I'm going to say to you is probably going to be very similar. I found you. I'm going to guess what I'm going to say to you is going to be very similar to, to the last channel that we looked at, but we're going to give it a shot. Let's see here. I've actually got some different ideas here for you as well. There we go. Okay. So Pixie Dust Traveler's like, yay for travel channels. Hey, Learn Spanish World. What's up, man? Hope you're doing awesome. Lisa Dawson, nice to see you in here. Hope you're doing great. So let's see here. So on Susie's channel here, so she explores van life and all things in between. And I'm just going to check out the About Me page, get more context here. Most of my life, been into traveling. I started boondocking in a car I built out. I travel across the state of California and back. Videos from that trip are here since then. Okay, so basically you're just driving around in the van. Driving around the van, maybe living in the van as well. I'm not sure. Doing the whole van life thing. So right out of the gate, you are already talking about Dollar Tree, things like that. You're doing versus things. So I'm going to guess you're already, promoting things as an affiliate here. So you're just getting started here. You got 45 videos, which I know seems like a lot, but in the world of YouTube, definitely getting started. 82 subscribers, so you're heading in that right direction. I'm going to look here really quick on one of these videos and just see. Oh, you're already on sponsorships, include paid promotion. Look at this. Yeah. So Susie, under 100 subscribers, is already doing sponsorships. This is great. So let's see here. So I'm just going to look and see what you have going on. Love that you're filling out your description fully. Love that you're using some hashtags in here. My website is Travel Around Susie. Okay, so really quick, Susie, I love that you have a website here. And by the way, for the Las Vegas channel, I recommend that you do the same as well, because that's a great way to, also just get people to where they go to your website, and then you also can have like a store on your website as well, and places where you can offer a lot of the things that we talked about also. But Susie, in your particular case, I would definitely put the https:// in front of this, and it'll make it an actual link, because you can see how this, when I hover over it, how I can click on these and it's an actual link. Here, your website should be the same way. And when you are doing your website, I would definitely make sure that you have an entire list, because you're already putting some of these things into practice. But I would make sure that you, I see it linked down here in the bottom. I would put together an entire page of like, hey, if you're just getting started in the van life, these are all the things through my couple of years of living in the van life, that these are all of the things that I recommend if you're getting into the van life. And by doing that, you're going to have that page on your website. If you search optimize it, hopefully over time those will hopefully gain like rankings, as long as you get into like learning how to optimize your website and all that stuff for search. And then those can drive revenue from your website while you're also driving revenue directly from your YouTube channel. But right out of the gate, like you're already, you're listing to your website. You are listing, I see your referral code here. So you're already, promoting things as an affiliate, which is a win. According to the tag up here, you already had, something going on with sponsorships. You're already involved with Amazon. Yeah. So right out of the gate, you're doing, the things and high five to you on the pinned comment also, but you're doing the things. So a couple things to consider in your case is definitely thinking about the guide thing. Like, hey, is there a guide that I could put together, just a really comprehensive guide of each individual place that I go to that you could offer to people that are interested in the van life? For example, hey, if you're going to be running your van around, California, I put together this guide of all the best places to, to go and all of that. And I know that some of that's going to be available online, but the idea is that people that get into your content and that watch your content and get to know, like, and trust you, they're going to want your recommendations on what you think is the best places. So because of that, putting those types of things together is for the people that, that know you. Of course, some new people will see it and they'll see value in it as well. But, those types of things are designed for people that are like, hey, this is, hey, I love the journey here. I love some of the views that they're showing, some of the places that they're going. I want to go see those places. And you can have the places that you recommend and the places that you don't, maybe best tips for, for each different location that you're recommending, different things like that. If you find some, like, hey, if you're going to go here, instead of parking over here, park over here, way better, a lot more quiet, those types of things. So I would definitely consider that for the different places that you go to. If you also, because you are doing van life, if you have like little like checklists and things like that, you can make like kits out of those to where it's like, hey, if you are, building a van, I put together this extensive 48-page checklist of, all the different, things that you need to make sure that you're keeping in mind when it comes to, building out your van. So, you can download that down in the description and so on. So putting together, those types of things is definitely something to consider if you don't have them available already. You know what? I should probably go look to see if you have those available already. Give me 1 second. I'm going to hit your website. Let's see here. Where was the website? Right here. Another thing as well is when it comes to what it is that you are doing, like once you get your audience in place, because, right now you're heading in the right direction, you're doing all the things. Now you just need like scale, right? You need people to respond better to the videos, which would be like the main thing I'd be working on right now. So that you can get all this scaled out because you have a lot of the stuff in place already. But one thing that I would consider like down the road is you can also, like, if you've built stuff in your van, like that comes with the learning curve. Like, for example, like, hey, like you're getting solar stuff and you're putting solar stuff together for your van, or you're putting together, like some organizational efficiency in your van, things like that. Putting together like a little crash course on your van would also be something to consider for people that are, getting into the van stuff. But I would wait until you have like a bigger audience for that. And the reason for that is because, you want the people that are going to want to take, your recommendations because they, know and like you for, those types of things. Or, hey, travelers, what's to learn about me? Click this box, adventure awaits. Yeah. So I would definitely add some things here too. So I know this isn't on YouTube, but I would definitely add some items up here, like a store of some kind, or, like my recommendations, or, my van recommendations. Just think about your audience, right? The people that are interacting with your content. And I would actually build a page or possibly an entire store around, affiliate things there, and, guides and checklists, things like that you could help people with. So yeah, so like on your end, I would say, most of it is repeating what we did with the original, or with that first travel channel that we had in here. So I would go that route. And, I would keep doing the things that you're doing, since you have a lot of this stuff in place already, and you'll be able to do sponsorships and things like that down the road too. But since you have a lot of these things already in place, I would double down on traffic, right? Because right now, like with the view counts that you're currently getting, everything will you'll be able to make a lot more money with your type of content specifically if you can, over time. And I know you're just in that learning curve right now, as we all are. We're just in different places, within that learning curve. But I would just focus on traffic. Like, okay, how can I make more videos? How can I make, better videos? How can I get people to respond to my thumbnails better? How can I get them to respond to, my content better? I would be focused on that right now so that you can, go at scale, because you've already got all these links down there. So I would do that for the sake of just kind of scaling everything up. So we're going to pull up another channel here. So if you're just joining us, what we're doing is we are looking at YouTube channels and we are giving tips on how they can monetize what it is that they're doing. We're looking at the channels, we're brainstorming based on the 9 most common ways that people monetize YouTube channels. And we're going through and just giving examples like, hey, you could do this, you could do this, that type of thing. And of course, if there's anything glaring, I kind of point that out as well. But hopefully that helped. Again, if you have any questions about any of the things that I mentioned, feel free to let me know. So let's see here. Next up on our list here, we're going for another hashtag. So if you are just joining this, this is 100% free. And what we're doing is we are pulling up channels and we are talking about different ways that they can monetize the content that they're doing. It's 100% free. What we are doing is we are pulling the participant from a hashtag. So all you have to do to participate is when I tell you what this hashtag here is in just a second, then all you have to do is put that hashtag in the chat, and then I'm going to pull them, from there. So the hashtag is Uscreen is the best. So that's the hashtag, and that's because Uscreen is the sponsor of this live stream. So if you're not familiar with Uscreen, it's your own video on demand service. So it's kind of like your own like Netflix of sorts that your viewers can actually pay you for exclusive content or training content, things like that. They have apps so that people can consume your content on the go, whenever it's best for them. They have live streaming you can do to connect with your audience, within there. They have it where you can drip content to where it's like, hey, I've got a bunch of content. Let me just load it in there. And then, I can drip videos out, meaning that, I can have it to where I've already got 10 videos. I can have it to where it drops 1 a week, but I can load them all up today so that it becomes like low maintenance at that point as well. So you can check them out at uscreen.tv, or of course I have a link to them down in the description as well. Let's see here. So we've got 78. So I'm going to give everybody just another second here, and then we're going to go ahead and hit this again. Okay, 81. That's good. We'll go ahead and spin it. And just as a heads up, if your channel does not get selected here, we're going to be looking at more. So don't sweat it. Like whatever. All right, sweet. So whatever it is that whatever channel we're looking at here, the Creator Classroom. If you're everybody else that's in the chat, it's not your channel, but I'm going to be pulling up more as well. And also, as I'm pulling up her channel, just think to yourself, like, okay, this is what he's saying to this channel. Could I apply any of this stuff to what it is that I'm doing, right? And just by doing that alone, you might be able to, think of another way to, make money from what it is that you're doing. So this is the Creator Classroom channel. So on her channel, she teaches people how to use Canva for YouTube. So not only is this good for monetization, but this is just a great channel plug. So like if you guys use Canva, if you're, because everybody here is a YouTuber, if you use Canva and you just want to learn like all of the ins and outs of Canva and all that, I recommend that you go check out her channel. You can see I'm already subscribed to it myself. So, go and check out her channel because she's got a lot of really good videos over there on just all the nuances of Canva. And it's targeted at content creators, helping you guys use Canva. So make sure that you check that out, if you're interested in that. But we are going to just go to the videos tab. I'm just going to click on the latest video. So she's got how to make YouTube shorts for longer videos in Canva. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. TubeBuddy just put out a feature about that too. That's really cool. So I'm going to click into this and we're just going to go down here into your description. So let's see. So we're going to start here. Try Canva Pro for free. Okay. So you are already a Canva partner. So you are already getting affiliate commissions on those. Let's see here. This is driving people back into your channel, I'm thinking. Okay, so just a heads up, if you're going to put this here, you should just put a, hey, subscribe to the channel by, clicking this link or something like that, just so it's clear what it is that they're getting there. Just a quick, side note for you there. But the one thing that you have is promoting Canva by itself, which is cool. But I think in your case specifically, doing like, course related, things, and or putting together like, guides and, those sorts of things is definitely something to consider, and templates for Canva. So, with Canva, I'm pretty confident that they have like templates that you can kind of share from there. So if they do, I would definitely start putting together like your own templates and things like that. For content creators, the things that we need because you're a content creator. So making like thumbnail templates, channel art templates, in-screen templates, like lower third templates, making like half screen templates to where, people can have like a half screen of graphic that ends up, popping out to share whatever message they want, showing people how to make like little subscribe, graphics in there and those types of things. And then kind of packaging all of those up. Either one is just presets that you can, or not presets, but just pre-made things that you could sell, or packaging them up as customizable things that you would also be able to, sell as well. And basically making it to where every video that you publish, you have the Canva affiliate link in there. And then you also have the link for, any of the, the items that you sell. So for example, in your case, if I was you, just like I have my Tuber Tool store, what I would do here is I would say, okay, I'm going to make my presets, all of the different templates, and I'm going to put a store together, either on like Shopify or WordPress or something like that. And I would do Shopify, and the reason I would do Shopify, I'm like way deep in WordPress, so I can't just take everything out of there and put it in Shopify because it would be a nightmare. But when it comes to you, if you're just starting with that, then in that case, making like a Shopify store. And the reason that I say to make a Shopify store instead of like a WordPress is because YouTube has the integration for shopping. So then if people are watching your videos, they would be able to see some of that stuff available right underneath your video if you enabled that feature once you hit the qualifications for it. So then that way, instead of building it up and then having to switch over into Shopify, you can just go ahead and get it ready in Shopify and just have it there. You're already driving sales from your videos and all of that, so that you can, start putting that into practice. Now, one thing to keep in mind when it comes to that and building a store, just for anybody here, if you're building a store of any kind to sell things from your YouTube channel, one of the things that you want to think about is like when you first build that store, it's possible if you don't have tons of activity on your channel, it's possible that you're like, man, I built that store and it's been like 3 weeks and I haven't seen like any sales yet, right? So keep in mind that, the awareness has to be spread about what it is that you're doing. So you can do that through the video content, you can do it through ads, you can do it through however you do it. But, when you first build it, you got to be able to, bring some attention to it. So, you can't build it and then say, okay, the store's going to rock now. You got to build it up, just like you do a YouTube channel, as an example. But on your case, I would definitely down the road, I would go after, sponsorship with Canva. If you haven't had that conversation already, I would reach out, just let them know, hey, I've got an entire YouTube channel dedicated to it. Let me see what kind of average view counts you're currently getting, because you're at 3,000 subscribers, 48, 42, 102. Yeah. So in your case, yeah, I would definitely work on getting the the average view counts up. And then once you achieve that, then I would go and I would approach, Canva for a sponsorship. And they may do it, they may not, but I would definitely put that on the list. In your particular case, when it comes to like physical products, I think that your physical product, I wouldn't worry about that because you're, talking about a digital, tool. So I would just focus everything digital. And then that way it's all like passive. You don't have to put out, a bunch of money to like make stuff or anything like that. When it comes to providing services, this is something that you can do. So this is going to come down to the amount of time that you have, if this is something that you would like to pursue. But when it comes to services, you are clearly well-versed at Canva. And people just don't have the time. So really quick, you see how I hover over these and I'm getting you here on the screen. It's more focused on you with this hover. So one thing I would experiment with, if you haven't yet, is I would experiment with some of these to where you do it with just the screen recording or just what it is that you're showing. Because if I was expecting to see Canva, yeah, I would expect to see something more along those lines and like this than I would to, to see this. But keep in mind, people know, they know that kind of thing happens, but just something to experiment with there to see, to see if it makes a difference or not in your case to kind of help, get the numbers up a little bit. But, you clearly know how to use Canva. So because of that, you could put a, again, as part of your website, you could have it to where it's like, hey, here's my templates. And then they have the option to buy all the templates there. And then like, here's the services. So if you don't want to make this stuff yourself, if you're a company, or if you're a social media agency and you need somebody to do this stuff, get in touch. And then by doing that, then you can start creating a client base. Again, if you have the time to do this, you start creating a client base of people that, that just have you making stuff for them in Canva, as well as you making money, on the passive side. And by doing that, what it does, and I did that too on the service side to kind of, services were kind of a bridge until I could fully depend on being passive. So how that works is, you get your clients for, you build up your service side of things while you're building up the passive side of things, with the guides, with the templates, those sorts of things. And then once the passive stuff gets to the point that where you're like doubling what you're making with services, that's where you make that detachment, right? So, so I would definitely consider, doing all of those things that I just mentioned. Merch, if you can come up with, clever things for merch, that's definitely something to consider. But I think your money, would be made in the digital products and with the services. I think that's where most of your money would come from, unless once you, pick up some momentum, unless you can get Canva on board to sponsor you. And even still, like even in that case, depending on how, on like where you're at when it comes to, your average view counts, you still might make even more money just with your own stuff than with the sponsors. And then the sponsors end up being a bonus on top of what it is that you're already doing. So I would definitely consider all of those things. When it comes to content licensing, I wouldn't worry about that. But the crowdfunding you could technically do to where you do like workshops with people. With that, again, I would wait until the average view counts are a little bit higher. But technically, I mean, you're getting, at least, like you're approaching 100 views per video on some of these. So because of that, you are having people interact. So, consider planning, like a workshop or something like that people could participate in either for free if they get your templates, or they could participate in it, for a fee, as a way for you to do like, like one-on-one training with them, or as a way for you to just do like workshops and do like group training with a bunch of people. So I would definitely considering all of those things. Now, I think I looked in the one description, so different ways to use Canva for YouTube. So let's go down here. ChatGPT, customize, Premiere, related videos, good. How to playlist. Yeah. I would definitely get like, I would start, especially since you are familiar with Canva. I would definitely go into Canva, make some guides, maybe, combine some of it with ChatGPT if you wanted to, but like, start making some guides on, like different things, like a getting started thing with Canva or something along those lines. Just to have, more options for people to make purchases. And one thing that I do want to let you know is some companies, and I'm not a fan when people do this, but it happens. So some companies will kill their affiliate programs down the road. So basically they use affiliates as a way to, kind of get the company going, and then they just kind of like let them drop out, which I think is like it's not a cool thing to do. But some companies do that. So for the sake of your own, being able to kind of control how things are, if you have different tracking codes here, like for like, hey, different types of videos, then I would consider bouncing them off of your site. But if you are, or redirecting them off of your website, but if you are just putting the same exact link in all your descriptions, then that's just an easy swap you could do in like TubeBuddy, for example. So not a big deal there. But I just wanted to just give you that heads up. So one thing, just for everybody that's here, what I'm talking about there is if you promote anything as an affiliate, you're going to get tracking links. And with those tracking links, sometimes, you'll want to track different things like, hey, here's the link I use for live streams, or here's the link that I use for, these certain types of videos that I do. And then here's a different link for these other certain types of videos, so that you can start figuring out like what converts better. When you are doing that sort of thing, it's really good practice to get a website domain, like yourchannelname.com. And then when you put up, just like a real basic website there using like WordPress or one of the free services or whatever, but you're going to need FTP access, or at least server access for it. Because what you can do is you can redirect those links off of your website. So then that way, if there's an issue with anything that you're promoting, instead of having to go into your YouTube channel and find all the different places that you put those, different links, then in that particular case, all you have to do is just change it one place on your website, and then everything's fixed without you having to go like video after video. So that's just like a little time hack to save you a bunch of time. I learned that one the hard way. My friend Justin over at Primal Video, he's actually the one that shared that idea with me, which I was like, oh my gosh, it's like the best idea ever. But big difference in terms of, just organizing things and all of that around your channel and keeping everything, just kind of rolling. So hey, if you have any questions about that, Creator Classroom, definitely, of course, shoot me a message on Twitter, and I'm going to pull up another channel now and see what we got. So let's see here. Let's go back to the giveaway tool. Yeah, I think as your channel grows, I think that putting together like templates and things like that and offering services, I think would be a fantastic road to monetization for you, like serious monetization. So let's see here. What are we going to do for this hashtag? Let's do, okay, here we go. So the next hashtag that we are going to do is Uscreen 77. So a little lesson here for you. So in Thai language, for anybody interested in Thai, you say 7 as jet, and then 77 would be jet sip jet, which is 77. That sip is like a 10, right? So it's like jet sip is 70, and then you add the 7, jet sip jet. Little side fun, little side education there. Oh, the things we do to entertain ourselves, right? Okay, so we are currently at 70 entries, and if you're just joining us and you're like, hey, how do I get my channel looked at? All you have to do is put the hashtag in, and you got to put the actual hashtag for it to read it, Cameron. But you put the hashtag in, and then what's going to happen is I'm going to hit the draw button, and then when I hit this draw button right here, this one right here on the screen, then it's just going to randomly select somebody, and that's how we pull them up. So I'm just waiting for a few more to come in, just to give you guys time to get it in there for the people that just heard that message, and then we'll pull it up. And while we're waiting for this, just so you know, the main ways for those of you that are just joining us that content creators typically monetize their content is the 9 most core ways, the most popular ways. People do other things as well, but the core ways are through affiliate marketing, offering premium content, digital products like courses, downloads, that kind of stuff, physical products, providing services, selling merchandise, crowdfunding, which is like buy me a coffee or Patreon, something like that, sponsorships, and content licensing. So like travel channels, content licensing is definitely something to, think about. Sponsorships, everybody can think about, as long as you would be able to provide value of some kind to a sponsor, that would be worth it on their end to invest in you. Crowdfunding, that's basically where, you put up links to different things and you offer different things to your viewers in exchange for, their, $5 or $10 or, $100, depending on, how you set things up. And we'll talk about, the rest of them as we continue. So here we go. Drum roll. We got Road Hard Restorations. All right, this is going to be fun. Love the confetti on that too, by the way. So let's see here. So let me go Road Hard Restorations. Let me pull up your channel. Give me just a second. And if we didn't pull up your channel, which is like everybody else here in the chat, just a heads up, we're going to be pulling up more here once we are done with this one. So just so you know. Okay, Road Hard Restorations. Let me just do a quick safety check. Okay, we're good there. Check the here. Okay. Okay, so right here we have Road Hard Restorations. So let's see what they're doing. So welcome to Hard Restorations, just a regular guy fixing up classic. Okay, so one thing, this isn't, based around, money, but just a quick best of practice thing for you. And everybody here should do this because them having this on desktop is a relatively new thing. It's been available on mobile for a really long time, but it's just been available on desktop computers for a little bit of time. But you can see this blurb here. This gets pulled from your About Me page, which has happened right here. So like as an example, welcome to Hard Restoration, just a regular guy fixing classic, and then it kind of cuts off there. But if we click on your About Me page, then you see that we have, more information here. So one thing that I just recommend everybody is that you just look at that on your channel from a computer and you just make sure that this is optimized. So in his case, he could remove welcome to Road Hard Restorations, just a regular guy fixing up classic cars. And he could make this whole blurb just, a regular guy fixing, classic or, a classic car enthusiast, fixing up classic cars or showing you how to fix up classic cars or something like that, but basically isolating the value proposition down to where it fits into that little area right there. If you're a marketer and you have stuff to sell where people are going to need to hit your About Me page on like a mobile, then in that particular case, you can see mine as an example on your mobile device if you go to my channel page. But basically you can also put, because typical viewers, they might not know that that area is clickable on a mobile. So what you can do is you can put like your little blurb and then you can put like for more info, click here. And then, they could click that directly, or I put like a little emoji there. So then that way it pulls a little bit of attention to it and then people can click on it so that on a mobile, like typically on a computer, you'll have links that you can put, right up here that show up if you have links on your About Me page. But on a mobile device, for those of you that are already selling stuff, I thought I just got a notification from something that was somebody trying to get into an account, but it wasn't. But basically the About Me page on a mobile device is where you have links to where, if you need somebody to go to your website or, see other things like that, then they would be able to access it on the mobile device a little bit easier there for the people that won't explore the About Me page on their own. So Wanted Mobile Gaming, so I did the website and filled out the form. Okay, yeah, if you filled out the form, Wanted Mobile Gaming, if you filled it out for the Facebook group, then I will get you in there as soon as the stream is complete here. So let's see here. So next up here, we've got on the Road Hard Restorations. Whoa, it's showing me like a mobile view. 1 second. Okay, so let's talk about how you can make some money. So right out of the gate, because you are putting all of this stuff together for cars, you're using tools, you're using jacks, you're using jack stands, you're using the parts from the cars. Like from an affiliate standpoint, you have a lot of opportunity here of things that you can bring to people's attention. As a person that's into classic cars, you also have the opportunity for merchandise. Those are two things right out of the gate that would make sense to me. So I'm going to click into here and I'm just going to look in your description and just kind of see what you have going on. To show you how to remove the harmonic balancer from the engine, and a neat trick to remove this without damaging it. This is the engine, helps support the channel. Okay, so just as a heads up, and I hate to do this to you like live, but this is the only way that I can, communicate it to you. So by putting this type of language in your description next to your Amazon link, you're actually at risk of losing your Amazon account. So Amazon sees this type of language, help support the channel by buying your stuff at Amazon by clicking through this link below. They see that as incentivization, which means that you're like trying to like incentivize people to go and click your links through the language of helping support the channel. So, in exchange for them clicking on that link, they feel good that they're supporting you before they make a purchase is the idea. I know several people that have lost their Amazon affiliate accounts because of this, but they also say it in their terms. So I would definitely change that. And instead just have, as an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. And instead of just having a raw link going to Amazon, make a store over there, or some type of list you can send people to or something like that, and use that as the way to get people over there. So I would remove that. Oh, you just signed up for it. Okay. Yeah. So I would remove that, that language as soon as you get the chance to. This is a really common thing. So like what you're doing, people put it in their descriptions all of the time. And for a long time, it might be okay, but I'm just letting you know now so that you don't fill this in a lot of your descriptions over time, because all it takes is one reviewer to check out your stuff. And if they see that, and it'll typically happen when you're driving a lot of sales, but they'll see that and then, it can cause problems for you. So I would definitely change that when you get the option. But you just signed up for Amazon, so that gives you the option to promote stuff. So what you are going to be faced with is you're going to be faced with, okay, I'm replacing this particular thing, which means that the people watching this video, they're either watching because they love working on cars, or they're watching because they're trying to fix a similar problem. You'll know when you're putting the video together, obviously, which scenario it is for, that particular video. But one thing that I would recommend to you is if you're fixing a very specific problem that a lot of people are trying to fix with a classic car, to where you have a specific part and you can link to that as an affiliate, I would do it. But as a consistent thing, I would link to specific tools that you use. So if you have, a very specific set of tools that you use or very special tools that you use to do very certain things in your garage, then linking to those, if you look in my descriptions, in almost all my video descriptions, I have a blurb and it says tools and services I recommend or something along those lines, depending on the description. And with that particular blurb underneath that, then I have, just like this list, and that particular list is in almost every description that I have. And the idea there is that everything in that list solves common problems that content creators have, right? So in your particular case, if you have things that you typically use on a regular basis as well, then in that case, you can be like, hey, this is my go-to stuff. So, as we all know, as car people, there's a gazillion different tools that you can use, but these are the very specific things that I use. And you can do this even better when you do use specific tools for specific things. Like if you have some new thing that you're using, adding that to your, list, those are some things that you would definitely want to do. But if you can link to direct parts, then having that as kind of like a bonus on top of the tools that you're using is something to consider. Now, in your case, because you are working on a bunch of different cars, I think it's going to be different for you because you have here you have the this one is all the Duster. So here you might be able to, as you're putting all this together, you might be able to to kind of go through. And, if you've had problems or if you've had certain steps that you've had to go through in order to fix some of this, technically you could do the guide thing as well, or at least checklists. Like, hey, okay, if you're restoring any classic car, here's a checklist of, the first things that you should be looking at just to make sure that it's okay. Or in your particular case, you could put together another one that is hey, if you're going to go buy a classic car so that you can restore it, here are some things that you should keep in mind. Now, I understand that people that are going to be buying classic cars are likely to already be into cars and already be well-versed or at least somewhat versed in that. But there's also a lot of people that are just getting started with that could use the help. So, putting that together, I would work on getting your average, view counts up right now, but you're not doing bad. But I would still work to get those up just a little bit. But then once you do that, then making some type of guide for the cars where you're hey, this is, this is all of the stuff for this car, which would be a big project. You would actually work on that guide as you're working through fixing the car, and then you would make it available at the end. And then for the buying guide on if you're going to buy a car, a classic car, avoid these mistakes that I've made in the past, get this checklist. It's going to cost you $5 or $20 or whatever you think it's worth. And then they can take that along with them, when they're going and they're looking at cars. You can level that up a bit depending on how fluent you are in doing stuff on a computer. If you know how to use Canva or anything like that, then you could technically make something that people could download and put onto an iPad or their phone. So then they could actually be able to see it right there, wherever it is that they are. They could just download it and then just have it in their phone, open it up from their files, on their phone. It's not, you wouldn't have to make an app or anything like that. But basically it would just be essentially you're making a series of graphics and words that they would be able to put into their phones so that they would be able to, have that checklist with them when they were going to make a purchase. So I would definitely consider those types of things. As you grow your channel, sponsorships are definitely going to be in your cards because, you are using, you have this one to pull your motor out, this particular thing. You're using all these different tools, and all of these tool companies, they love when content creators are using their tools because it's just an endorsement for their tools, right? So if you're not already, I would be reaching out to some of the companies that, that you're already using their tools. Like, hey, I got a YouTube channel. I'm doing, car restoration. I'm targeting people that are interested in, restoring cars. And I would love to, have your tools as the, primary kit that I have. In exchange for that, I'm going to be using the tools, and I'm going to have a little thing pop up on the bottom of my screen that just says, thanks to such and such for, for the tools, or, something like that. And then by doing that, that would cut down your costs on buying stuff. But if you already have everything you need, don't do that. And then just wait until, you get a little bit of momentum and then start reaching out with a media kit, start reaching out to, people that, make tools or car parts or anything like that. Okay, you're just getting started. So you've only been on here for 5 months. Okay, this is great. So one thing really quick from just a quick idea for you here is I see you are making some shorts and I see that you're kind of dropping them horizontally here. Because of the nature of your content, because of what it is that you're doing specifically, some of this is just satisfying to watch in terms of like, hey, here's me here just kind of wrenching away on this particular thing. Or like I'm here like, hey, these pistons are doing this, or this is how you identify XYZ when you are trying to know if something is good or not. Making shorts like that is definitely something I would be doing right now just because shorts is a huge opportunity. And I think you're kind of missing out on that. So that's not money related. That's more ad revenue related and getting you into the partner program faster related than it is about, like things that you would directly be able to apply right now on the monetization side. But I would definitely start using shorts more in your case and just base it around like, okay, because you do this, right? In terms of don't use it just as commercials. Put content there too, because like just put content there that's relevant to the people that are interacting with your content. So like, for example, the types of things that you would put there would be like, hey, if you are, into classic cars, this is a common problem that a lot of cars have, something like that. And then just by taking that quick, 3 minutes to make that video, and then cutting it down into a short, that's, value that you can add there as unique content that you're publishing on the channel versus just sampling out some of what you already have. Sampling's fine, but when you design a piece of content for YouTube Shorts, it typically does better. Not always, but it typically does, because then you can have more intention behind it in terms of like, okay, when I publish this is what I'm trying to do. I'm putting this out for subscribers, so therefore I need to, make sure that there's a lot of value in this and it's something interesting to watch and blah, blah, blah. Because I saw in this how you have like this big subscribe now right up here at the top. Like I wouldn't even worry about that kind of stuff. Like having that just kind of pop up and then go away real quick, like towards the end of it or something like that makes sense. But I wouldn't worry about, having those types of things on there, like when people first go into it. Let's see here. So in your case, we talked about guides. We talked about that. We talked about affiliate marketing, which you're starting to get into already with Amazon. Physical products, I'm a big believer in, people thinking, big. So one thing that I would definitely consider, just putting it on your plate if your channel, I'm not sure if you're like trying to do this long-term, like full-time, or if you're just doing it as like a side hobby thing. If you're trying to go like full-time and all of that, and, if it gets to that level, then in that particular case, considering like, hey, I'm going to make my own mat. I'm not sure what they're called, but basically it's the thing that you lay over a fender, right? So that, people don't mess it up. You know what I'm talking about. But basically like, hey, I'm going to make my own custom branded thing that you lay over the edge. And then I'm going to just think about if I was going to make those, how could I make it that would be better? And I'm going to, make those types of stuff, but make those types of things. But basically just kind of putting it on your list, since you are in front of people that are interested in, fixing cars, you have tons of opportunity for monetization when it comes to like physical products as well as you grow an actual fan base, right? So like right now, you'd be able to sell some of that stuff now too, but at scale to where it's like, hey everybody, I made this thing, go get it. Like I would wait a little bit of time for that one. But like the affiliate stuff and the other things that we've talked about, that's stuff that you could definitely do right now. Same exact thing goes with crowdfunding. I would also get crowdfunding in there somewhere. And the reason for that is because, you are showing people how to do different things, with their cars, when it comes to fixing cars. And that means that you're going to be helping some people solve problems. So because of that, some people are going to appreciate that and they're willing to throw $5 or $10 your way, just because, you added value to them or you saved them the time of, figuring out that particular problem. So I would definitely consider that. So there are my thoughts on yours, and then we'll do another one. So let's see here. So we got that one. Let me go back to the giveaway tool. And again, in your case as well, if you have any questions, Road Hard Restorations, if you have, any questions about any of the things that I mentioned, definitely, just let me know. Just send me a DM on Twitter, and then I can answer any questions that you have. But when it comes to, your case as well, like, and I didn't mention this on the travel channels, or Canva Classroom or Creator Classroom, but Other things that you can do is you can also put together some type of like, newsletter or something like that that just kind of keeps people up to date with things. So like with Canva Classroom, she could just have to where you're like once a week she sends out, hey, these are some, here's a quick tip in Canva or whatever. It can be like her Canva club. And then by doing that, then she's also growing her email address list, which then she'd be able to, market things to like in the future and that kind of thing as well. And then in your case with classic cars, hey, join my classic club. And then with that, they sign up, and they give you their email. Keep in mind, like this comes with, marketing. You're going to have to do marketing there as well. So if you're like, hey man, I just want to make cars and make videos, then like, skip some of this. But like, I'm just sharing it with you as an idea. But, it would allow you to be able to create an email list that you would own off of YouTube. So if something happens to your YouTube channel or whatever, you still have it. But then that also gives you contact with other people that are enthusiasts with what it is that you're doing. And then when you get sponsorships down the road, you can leverage that because you, in your case, like you're primed for that with what it is that you make. So like like when you have that, then you have your YouTube channel to where it's like, hey, my YouTube channel has X amount of subscribers, you get X amount of views, my engagement's like this. And then you have like, oh, and I've got this like, huge email list that I can also, occasionally put, messages about your products and things like that in. And it kind of adds to the value that you can provide with your sponsorships. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to do another one here. So if you are just joining us, what we're doing is we are looking at YouTube channels and we're just brainstorming on different things that they can do to monetize based on the core things that content creators typically do to monetize their channels outside of YouTube ads. So it's just default. Once you get into the partner program, you're going to make money from YouTube ads. Everybody knows that. But with everything else that we talk about here during these streams, it is where, we are just looking for other things that the content creator might not necessarily be thinking about, at that moment in time. So let's do, okay, here, our hashtag for this one is Uscreen11. And with this, by the way, this is free. All you have to do is put in Uscreen11, and then this is going to randomly, pick as people, start putting that in. I basically let people put that in there, and then I hit the draw button. And then once I hit the draw button, then we're going to, pull up a channel and look at it. But for those of you curious of like, why is he using Uscreen in the hashtag? It's because this is all made possible from Uscreen. They sponsored, this series of videos. Hey, we got Dean Nimmin in the house. What's up, bro? But basically Uscreen sponsored this series of videos, and they've made it, possible for me to be able to do this for you guys for free. So if you're not familiar with them, they are a video on demand service where you can upload your videos and you can charge a fee for people to watch those videos. So entertainment channels do this, yoga channels do this, fitness channels do this, educational channels do this, all kinds of different channels do it. They have kids channels on here, all kinds of different stuff. For example, this one is called Fader Pro. And with this one, they teach people about, all things related to audio and making music and all of that. But you can see, how nice you can make everything look here, some of the things you can offer. They even have it broken down into all these different courses here, different services they offer. They have it broken down by different artists, different labels, all kinds of different, ways that you can do this. But it's really versatile when it comes to making it your own. And just a quick testimonial that I would like to read here. And I'm sure a lot of you can resonate with this for those of you that are already in the partner program. This is from Francis Long here of Your Book of Memories. And they say that I made $13,000 in my first 4 months. I've never made more than $380 a month in YouTube ad revenue. Uscreen changed my business and my life forever. So in terms of, what's possible, depending on your content type, depending on your audience, things like that, Uscreen is definitely a way that you can, monetize what it is that you're doing. If you can think of, what it is that you can offer there. So you can check them out at uscreen.tv, or I have a direct link down in the description that you can click on to check them out. So, so we're going to draw this, and here we go. Nope. There we go. Shark Scrapper, my man. All right, so we got Shark Scrapper popping up here. So really quick, we had a super chat come in from X-Man. Says, hey, morning, happy Thursday. Just want to say you've helped me learn a lot. Really appreciate what you do and the positivity, respect, keep it up. Thank you, X-Man, super appreciate it. Thank you for the kind words and the super chat. Thank you. So we got Shark Scrapper. Yeah, this is great. Okay, so let me pull him up. Okay, so I've got you pulled up here, and let's see what you got. So I've already, you know, like I've met him, we've hung out, you know, all that stuff. I know him. In his particular case, I know he already, you know, makes money from, you know, the actual thing that he does for this channel in terms of, you know, finding stuff and then like fixing it up or cleaning it or, you know, whatever, and then making it available for sale or parting it out, you know, those kinds of things. But we're going to look and see other ways that he might be able to monetize what it is that he's doing. So I'm going to click into this one right here, and we're going to go look in your description, and we're just going to see what you are currently doing. So, okay, so you're doing crowdfunding already through PayPal directly and through Patreon. So that's a win. So you already have those in place. Follow this link to get your Stripmeister now. I'm not sure what Stripmeister is, but I do see that you do have some type of tracking code on here. So I'm going to guess that that's either sponsored or it's an affiliate, which is good. You have an Amazon store already in place, which is great. Let's pull this up and see what you have. Okay, so right now you have creator gear and you have scrapping tools. I would actually focus this like I would venture to guess that most of your viewers are going to be more you know, scrappers than they are content creators. So having this in here is fine, but I would actually start breaking these tools down so that when people land on this page, that they have a section for like, you know, these are the tools I use for computer parts. These are the tools that I use for, you know, these other things. These are the tools that I use for this. And then just kind of break them down categorically. So if somebody is, you know, just looking for tools for a specific thing, that will help them navigate to those things, you know, just a little bit more efficiently. So I would definitely do that on your Amazon store just to see, you know, if it helps with your, you know, with your sales there at all. Let's see here. The bits that I use, that's good. You got merch already in place. Let's see what you're doing over here. Shark scrapper, just a girl who loves sharks. Good, good, good. Okay, so another thing that I would do as well is if the scrapping world is anything like the Amazon FBA world or the flipping world, I would guess that you guys have, you know, some kind of like insider language there and just kind of like insider jokes and things like that. I know that, you know, part of what it is that you're doing is, you know, you're doing charity, you know, for you know, the sharks. But I would also, for the sake of being able to give more to that charity, I would also put things in here that just scrappers in general could relate to, right? Like you would understand the nuance of this better than me, but for, you know, your audience, something like, you know, like, oh, I'm going to, you know, like I'll get, you know, X for this one, you know, in terms of money, or like, oh, I hit the jackpot, or, you know, anything like that. If there's any type of, you know, language that you guys use when you find something really cool or something valuable or anything like that, just trying to think of like, okay, what would scrappers like resonate with, to where if they were to see that in a store, they would think like, oh yeah, like that's cool. I dig that and I'm going to get it. Right. So I would keep what you have, because this is all great. But I would also add, you know, those types of things as well, just to give people those options. You got an eBay store also. So just as a heads up with your eBay store, just put the https:// here, and then that'll become a clickable link. So if you have this in all of your video descriptions, you can use TubeBuddy's find and replace tool. How that works is you go to your content page, and then at the very top of that, you're going to see bulk tools. Click in bulk tools, and then you're going to find a find and replace. All you have to do is you put you just copy this right out, and then you say, this is what we're going to find. And then you put the HTTPS version as the replace. And then, you know, the rest of it, it's kind of like a wizard. It just does it in a few clicks. But if you want to just do it more efficiently, then that would be that'd be a quick thing for you there. Also, if you're going to put your camera gear down here, like if you're going to waste the screen real estate, I would put links to it. Right. So, so for example, you know, this would be another way to get people cookied in on Amazon, to where it's like, you know, the camera gear I use. And then bam, that's it. It's just a link to your store. So check out the camera gear that I use, link to your store. Check out the, you know, things that I use, you know, for my scrapping. Like here you have Shark Scrapper's Amazon store, which is one, you know, it's a way to say it, right? It's like, okay, first, in order for this to make sense to me as somebody that, you know, like if I was somebody that wasn't, you know, into this kind of thing, in order for this link to make sense to me, I would need to know what, you know, what a Shark Scrapper Amazon store, you know, would be. So instead, changing the language on this to, you know, everything I use for my scrapping business is definitely something that you could put here. And then by doing that, you're changing the language of what it is, and you're making it a little bit easier to understand. So I would also do that in all of your descriptions, instead of just being Shark Scrapper's Amazon store, all of the things that I use for scrapping that you can find on Amazon. and then just put that link there. And then by doing that, that gives you that opportunity to send people there with a little bit more clarity. You already have the disclaimer in here, which is something that I was going to mention. So you've already got that. So you're good there. eBay store items I found. Okay. Yeah. Same thing with the language on some of this, right? Because they know, they're on your channel and they know that you're the one doing this recommendation. So I would just think about the language that you're using here to get people to click on this stuff. Because, the Amazon store, that's fine, but just leveling it up in terms of like everything that I use for scrapping, I think would be a better approach there. Shark Scrapper merch, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense. Or get Shark Scrapper t-shirts here, right? Shark Scrapper eBay store for items I found. This is cool. So, check out items I found here and then link to the, to your eBay there. Here's the shark we adopted. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Love that one. And then have another link for your camera gear if you wanted that. And also, by the way, Canva has a affiliate program, just a heads up. So if you are going to be recommending that, they also have an affiliate program that you could sign up for if you chose to. But a couple things that I think that you could definitely do here in your case, like, I don't know, because I know you do this for business. So since you're doing this for business, I know that some people look at it like they're going to be training up the competitors, but not really, because, yes, there might be some people in your local area that would run across it, but, at scale, you'd be helping a lot of people in a lot of other places, to where if you did put together some type of course, you could use Uscreen for that, or put together a series of like ebooks or guides or something to where you would be teaching people the business of scrapping as well. Because, especially right now, the way everything's looking, people are looking for different ways to make money. And, if you can help people be able to do that, then not only would you be helping sharks, not only would you be helping yourself, but you would also be helping those people, be able to do that a little bit better as well. Because when it comes to like courses and, things like that and putting structured material together for people, the difference is like, if I was trying to figure out, scrapping, then I would come here and I'd have to watch tons of your videos to start to even get it. So when it comes to like putting it together in a structured format, it's like, hey, here you're just getting into scrapping. Here's an introduction to scrapping series. And it tells you like, the things to think about, things to look for when you're looking at all the different, here's the things to look for when you're looking at computer parts. Here's things to look for when you are looking at car technology of some kind. I think that might be what that is. I'm not sure. But basically, like, when you're looking at appliances, those sorts of things. But that type of information is information that people can use to better educate themselves so that they could, be able to, to do it in a way that that they could actually earn, possibly a living from it. So I would definitely put that together. And I see that you say that you have it available in playlists, which is cool. But I would also make a paid version as well. And I would just structure it in terms of like, hey, I'm actually teaching a class here, and just take the approach like you are, like you're taking somebody into your shop and you are, or out on the road with you, whatever, and you're putting it together in an educational way, right? Because there's a difference when it comes to like content that you publish on YouTube and content that you make available in a course. When you publish content on YouTube, you are beholden to YouTube, not to YouTube, but to your videos performing well. So because of that, there's certain things that you have to do within the content in order to get your videos to perform better. And it's sometimes that comes at the cost of the education. Trust me, I know this one like, deeply. So, like when I'm making videos, right? Like, I have to get the information in there that's going to help people, as efficiently as I possibly can, because I know that I'm just like fighting for attention through the entire video, right? So I have to make sure that I'm just like getting that information in there, and I have to make it quick and concise. And because of that, going really deep on something can be really challenging. And I've tested this on my channel. And when I do go really deep on things, people commonly will abandon the video because either where it is that they're at in their journey at the time, they don't understand what it is that I'm talking about, or they're just not ready for that information yet because they're still trying to like figure out something, way up here in the learning curve instead. So when you put it together in a course format, you can be like, okay, where's the very first place somebody starts when it comes to scrapping? And you make the whole thing about, okay, start here and then do this and then do this. These are things you need to know. Then do this, then do this. Hey, let's go out on the road. Let me show you, kind of take you like in real life experience here. And we're going to take you out and I'm going to take you on this, trip with me. And you just edit it together to where it's an educational experience, not necessarily for the sake of, trying to make it perform well on YouTube so you can, make the content perform better. Right. So that's the idea. So I would definitely consider, doing something like that and putting together like checklists and, those sorts of things. Like when it comes to checklists and that kind of stuff, like some people will put that kind of stuff together just for free and just put it out there. Other people will put it behind a paywall, meaning like you can get this checklist or this little guide or whatever if you pay $5, $10, $20, $100, whatever you think it's worth. But then you also have it to where people will use them to get emails as well. So, from your perspective, just thinking like what you'd be able to make the best use out of and where you'd be able to provide the best value is the way that I would approach that. But I definitely think like you have people interacting with your content that are, probably looking to do the same thing that you're doing, or they're already doing it, and they could really use the help of somebody that, has been doing it for a while and knows the ins and outs of it. So because of that, I would definitely consider at the very least putting together, some type of guides that they could, download in terms of like, hey, these are things to look for in computers. These are the things to look for in terms of value, when you're looking for, different things. So I would definitely, consider that because what you're doing is you're making what it is that you're doing a lot more educational in nature, instead of, like I mentioned before, like to where you're like, hey, I'm trying to, show people this stuff, but I got to do it in the way to where the video is going to perform well on YouTube, versus like I can really get into the nitty gritty of this and really show people like, like how to do the thing, right? So I would definitely consider that in your case. And really for you, I would focus on those things. I would focus on the digital side. I would focus on, like any, either putting together a course or, putting together some type of like checklist guide, things like that. Like you can watch some videos on Canva Classroom, on the Canva Classroom. If you're not familiar with, Canva, but, you could probably put together all of those checklists and guides and, the covers for them and all that stuff. You could probably put all of that together on Canva. And really with your knowledge, you could probably do that in a really short amount of time. As well. So, just some kind of food for thought there on your particular case. All right, so we're gonna do another one here. So if you are just joining us, hey, and also Ernie, man, if you have any questions about that, just shoot me a DM. I mean, we're connected on like Facebook, we're connected everywhere. So like, if you have any questions about any of that, man, just shoot me a message. Let's see here. So, and by the way, what we're doing right now is we're looking at YouTube channels, and we're, talking about different ways that, that they can, monetize what it is that they're doing. But if you are somebody that is looking for, just like a regular channel review, like you want somebody to give you feedback on like what it is that you're doing on your channel, tomorrow, I am going to be doing live channel reviews on another channel. I just dropped the link here. It's also pinned at the top of the chat. It's going to be over on the Tube Spanner channel. So, so definitely head over there and hit that notification so that when we go live over there, you are, you can come participate over there as well. So our next hashtag, let me get this together here, is going to be, we're going to do Uscreen 99 is our hashtag now for this one. And while that's playing, while it's not playing, actually give us a like real quick.
If you're enjoying the show, remember to give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend right now.
All right, so we got those hashtags coming in. Love it. So just as a reminder, we're using that Uscreen hashtag because this stream is brought to you by Uscreen. Uscreen is a VOD service, video on demand. So you can upload your videos there and you can charge money for people to watch those videos. And it can be a monthly subscription. So people that are like really into what it is that you're doing, they can basically contribute monthly in exchange for content. So it's an exchange. It's not like they're just giving you money. So they basically are paying you for access to this content. And the cool thing about it is as long as they're getting value from what it is that you're doing, then they'll keep paying monthly. And then over time that balloons pretty quickly. So, when it comes to educational content, this is a really good thing to do. I'm actually working on some stuff that I'm going to be putting into Uscreen as well. It's an opportunity that I've missed for a very long time. I actually had a period of time where I was going to do a course and then I ended up not doing it because the pandemic hit and all of that. But now I'm going to do it again. I've already started making videos for it and all of that. So I'm in motion. So hopefully I'll be able to get that out to you guys by the end of this coming month. Okay, so let's go back to the thing here. So we got 93 votes, or not votes, but hashtags in here. Here we go. All right, here we go. So really quick, I have a technical question here from Circle H Scuba. Says, hey, Nick, you mentioned cloaking / redirecting a URL in WordPress via FTP uploads of a file for the redirect. What channel did you say you learned that from? I need to do that for my website. So that particular one, it's just a friend of mine. Like, I think we were at VidSummit, and they were talking about, at that time, there was somebody that like changed their, I think it was like kit.com, I believe it was, to where you put together like your kits of all the gear you use and stuff, and you could send people to that. They like killed their program, or they changed their links or something, and it was like a big deal. And since it was a big deal, then, I was like, oh, I got to change links, blah, blah. And they're like, dude, you should be doing this in terms of like bouncing everything off of your website. So you can use a WordPress plugin for this. Just get an affiliate plugin for WordPress. So for example, the Uscreen link that I had down in the description, that one is bouncing through a affiliate plugin on my website. And not only is it bouncing through, but it's also tracking the clicks. So then that way I can also see like, okay, about how many people are clicking from, from this particular link, from this particular stream. And then that helps me be able to gauge, the amount of people that are clicking on that. So it just helps with me like mentioning it, calls to action, things like that. Over time, I just learn what people respond to better. There is WordPress plugins for that, but you can also, if you don't need the tracking, but you just need a way to easily, send your links through, off of your website so you can manage everything. In that particular case, you can just do it through an htaccess file on your server. So basically you would still need a server for that. You can use like GoDaddy or anything like that. But basically what it would be is you would point your domain name there, and then on your server in the htaccess files, you would put a redirect, and you'll have to Google a little bit in terms of like how to, the actual code that you need for the redirect. But all you do is you just put the link in there. And then what's going to happen is when they click on the originating link, like in your case, it would be like circlehscuba.com/whatever. Then when they click on that, then it would hit your website, and then your website would read that it was coming in that way. And then it would redirect it out to whatever it was that, that you were sending the viewer to at that point in time. So that's what's going on. But just as a heads up, in order to stay compliant with YouTube and all of that, because they're weird about links and where people go and all of that, I also recommend that you do build like some type of website, even if it's something basic. So like if you're doing WordPress already, because you keep mentioning that, you say, it's possible. WordPress is great, but sometimes makes things like that a pain. It does. So I recommend if you're already got WordPress, you're already doing that, and you already have a website, I would just use an affiliate plugin for it. There's a lot of different ones. I would just look at the different options, see what works best intuitively with you, and use that one. Because like when you start bouncing it off the htaccess and stuff, it becomes more difficult to create new links and all that, and just harder to keep track of things. So because of that, with the affiliate plugins, you just say add new link, and then or you click a button, and then it says like this link goes here, this link goes here. Is it what type of redirect is it? Like what do you want to name it? And then it's good to go. Ronnie's Rambles. What's up, dude? Okay, so here we go. So let's go find Ronnie's Rambles and see what he can do on his. So right out of the gate, I'm going to say the guide thing is going to be a win for you. I'm just confirming that you are making like, Thailand related content, which it looks like you are. Okay, so Ronnie's Rambles, eat Thai food, speak Thai language, discover Thai life. Love it. So let's see here. So, okay, my food videos usually have a small glossy in the description to help you. Glossary in the description to help you. Yeah, so this is cool. I like that you have this little note right here. Somebody, hits it so that they can know what's going on there. I think that's cool. Thinking of this more as a value proposition and doing it that way is a better way that I would leverage this. And the reason for that is because, this is okay. Like, this is okay because there'll probably be more people that see this than more people that'll see it through shares. But one thing to just think about is, if you do find that a lot of people are sharing your content, you can check this by looking at your external traffic coming into your to your channel, and you can actually follow some of those and see what's going on. But if people are sharing, if a lot of people at scale start sharing links to your videos, then I would change this and I would make it more optimized for those shares because this top line right here, a lot of this is going to show up on like Twitter or Facebook if somebody shares you out to their LinkedIn, wherever. So because of that, I would definitely consider that. Let me change the view here so you guys can see that better. There we go. But I would definitely consider that if you start getting, more shares at scale. But right now, I think it's fine because it adds that, kind of a little bit of information as people are, kind of going down the page. So let's see here. Let's go to your videos page, kind of see what you have going on. Okay, so right out of the gate, just a quick thing. And this is one of those things where if it's glaring, like I have to just kind of step aside from the monetization for a second and just give you like a best practice thing. So when it comes to your titles, in your case, because you're clearly targeting the English language here. This is English, all of this is English, all of this is English, all of this is English. You do not want to mix Thai with English in your titles, because what you're doing is you are going to have like this. You're going to have Thai people coming into this, and you're going to have people that speak English coming into this. And when they come in here, it could actually kind of screw up who your content's getting recommended to. So because of that, I would definitely focus on like, hey, I'm going to focus on English in everything. And then if you want to make it to where it's also easily accessible for the Thai crowd, then in that particular case, do that through your translation of your metadata. And you can do this in your settings for each individual video. Do that through the translation of your metadata in terms of your title and description. And then you can also do it through the captioning that you put on your videos. And if you have somebody that is Thai that would be willing to do it, or if you're fluent in the language, then you could also do an audio dub. And if you do an audio dub, then what would happen is the videos would get presented to people in Thailand in Thai language, because that's, how it's optimized with the exception of the thumbnail. And then when they click on it, YouTube would also play the default audio as the Thai dub, because that's the language that they are interacting with YouTube on. So I would definitely do all of that just for the sake of giving yourself, a better opportunity there, because right here, what you're doing, you'll end up causing the system to get kind of confused on who the right people are to show your content to. And as soon as this starts getting shown to English people, they're going to stop responding to it. So when that happens, then all of this content is going to end up being pretty much like useless, because if you start doing this a lot, then it's going to just mess up who your content's getting served to. So I would definitely get that taken care of. But since we're focused on monetization today, there's some other things that I'd recommend here with your thumbnails as well. But since we're doing monetization, we're going to go and we're going to look at that. So let's see here. So let's go into one of the videos here. Time to eat Thai food. Okay, let's go into here. So see here, red ant eggs. People ask me like, hey, Nick, man, why don't you eat Thai food? This is why. Red ant eggs. Yeah, no thanks. I'll stick to pizza. Thank you very much. Pizza and hamburgers all day. Red ant eggs? No, definitely not. But let's see here. So a few keywords and pronunciations to help you order food. Yeah, like all this stuff too. Like I'd be really careful with this in terms of this getting... I mean, at least you have English characters here, which is a win compared to the other one. So I think this, might be okay, but I would definitely be really careful. Definitely be really careful there. With this bit.ly link, just going to redirect you here. Yeah. So with this bit.ly link, I would remove this. Again, not monetization related, just doing some, quick housekeeping here. I would definitely make sure that you take that off of there. Just because there's no real purpose for that. It's not doing anything right now. So I would take that off. And then for here, I would try to get this off of like a website or something. Bitly's fine, but I would try to get it off the website. But more importantly, when it comes to, and this link's not working, by the way, but when it comes to, sending people to different things, like you're promoting something as an affiliate, which is the right thing, right? Like you're getting that in place, which is a win. The downside is the people that are going to be watching your videos are likely to not be content creators. So because of that, you can expect extremely low conversions from people, clicking on your Epidemic Sound link and signing up. You might get people here and there, but I would actually try to think of other things that would be more relevant to, people that are interacting with content related to Thailand. So maybe if you can find, like if you can get into Amazon, then in that case you can suggest all kinds of stuff there. You can suggest backpacks, clothes. You can suggest anything you can imagine that somebody would need here, and you could change it per video on the specific things that you recommend. I would definitely get some better affiliate links down here, because like again, this is fine. But, for anybody here, I just want to take a moment to kind of highlight this for a second. So for anybody here, and I have a call that I have to hop on here in just a few minutes. So I'm going to get off here in just a few in just a few minutes. But one thing that that I do want to just recommend to everyone is if you are promoting something as an affiliate, it's really important to make sure that you are thinking of the relevance of the things that you're promoting to the audience of people that are interacting with your content. So typically by default, content creators will promote things like cameras and, you know, things like that, or just services that are related to being a content creator, which is okay. But a better way to do it is thinking about, okay, who's actually watching my videos? Like, sure, I might have some content creators in there, but who's actually watching the content? And those are the people that you want to, you know, put links together for and start thinking like, okay, this video here, what would make the most sense for those people? And then start, you know, pushing to those things instead. But when we pull Ronnie back up here, yeah, so in your case, definitely trying to figure out different stuff for affiliates. You absolutely can put together, like, you know, since you are focusing more on like food and those sorts of things, putting together like, you know, recipes and, you know, like your favorite Thai recipe books and things like that, make it look nice, like, you know, promoting it like up here, you know, like in your channel art, for example, get my recipe book here, you know, for the best Thai recipes, something like that. But with that, I would definitely work on some of the imagery and stuff too, just so you can make it look as delicious as possible through, you know, like what it looks like on video and in the thumbnails. But, you know, since you are doing like a lot of food related things, then, you know, I would definitely consider doing that. Guides, of course, you know, when you are, you know, doing things for specific areas, when you're making Songkran videos like this would be a great opportunity because there are people, you know, there's going to be an influx here coming up over the next few weeks of people coming in, and they're going to be watching tons of videos on Songkran, which, by the way, everybody that's hanging out here, Songkran is like, what it is here in Thailand, it's a gigantic water fight, essentially. So of course there's, you know, other reasons that they do it. But like what it's turned into is a big water fight, right? So basically, like when you leave your place, like you have to be prepared to get wet because there's a really high chance that you're going to get wet. And this happens over the course of like several days. But, Jerry says selling recipes is a decent amount of effort to get up and running. That's fine. You know, like anything is a decent, you know, it takes a little bit to get up and running, and that's okay because, you know, like if you're going to be making money from it, you know, that front loaded effort, is definitely, you know, worth pursuing without question. POV. Okay. So these are bike rides. So like in your case, yeah, I would focus more on like if you end up going to different areas and stuff, you know, making guides for those if you wanted to. But since it looks like your primary focus is on food, I would actually, you know, try to go like the recipe book route or, you know, something like that and just kind of, you know, make it easier, ingredients or, you know, something like that, and just try to make it easy for people to be able to you know, get like what it is that they need recipe wise for, you know, Thai food. And I know some of that, you know, a lot of it you can just find by, you know, Googling after you read through like 38 pages of like why somebody got this recipe from like their old relative and why it meant so much to them as a kid. And then you scroll for like 38 pages and then you get the recipe. In your case, they could just get the recipe without having to go through all that. So yeah, so I would do that in your particular case. You could do like merch and things like that, but really I think just, you know, like, hey, here's some like recipes, or affiliate stuff. I think both of those would be your best things to do right now. Once you start getting things moving here, then in that case, you know, it would open you up for more. But right now, I would just focus on some of those things. Okay. So on that note, I want to thank everybody for hanging out. And again, this stream was brought to you by Uscreen. They are a video on demand service where you can upload your YouTube videos there and actually charge a fee for your videos. Of course, it works best for like educational stuff and, you know, things like that if you're showing people or teaching people how to do things. But you can also use it for additional, you know, things as well. I know they have kids channels up there to where they have their kids channels on YouTube and then they drive them to Uscreen and then they have paywalled content there. But there's a lot of use cases for it, but you can check it out for free. They have a free trial where we can just kind of see what it is and see if, you know, you can use it for the type of content that you make, but you can check that out at uscreen.tv, or of course there's a link down in the description. And before we head off, I want to say,
welcome to the Niminati.
Welcome to the Neminati to Slow Rowing Nomads. So just as a quick heads up, let me pull this up here really quick. So go to neminvip.com for you slow rowing nomads. That's going to redirect you to Members Amp, which is the service that I use to manage my channel memberships. Once you connect everything there, you're going to see the option for Facebook. If you're interested in joining the Facebook group, just make sure that you connect that, and then you'll get a link to the Facebook group. When you do, go there and then, request access. And then if you can do that here, because I have a call that I have to hop on, it's going to take me about an hour. Once that call is finished, then I'll add you to the Facebook group there. And also, Larry Snow says, thank you, Nick, for taking the time to do these reviews. There are so many takeaways, advice, and tips. I'm always learning. Larry, thank you for the super chat, and thank you for the kind words. I'm glad that you are getting value out of the content. Super appreciated. So on that note, just as a reminder, I'm going to be doing regular channel reviews tomorrow. On another channel, I've got on the Tube Spanner channel, I have that pinned at the top of the screen right now. So you can go ahead and get the notification set up for that. So you can show up there tomorrow. We're going to be doing the same thing, pulling people randomly from the hashtags and going that way. Besides that, I'm doing news tomorrow as well before that live stream. So make sure you swing in for the news. And then right after that, we're going to be doing that channel review stream. And I'll be there Saturday as well with my brother D. We're going to be doing another live stream together this coming Saturday. So have an awesome rest of your week, and I'll see you next time.